do. Just because some of our accounts have group transparency or secret, it's in secret mode, so no one can see it except account holder. So here you can see accounts that are available for me as I was invited as a follower. Going to Frank Money Inc. account, where I'm account holder and where I can add all information about transaction. You see here, I can add or edit category. So now separating expenses.
Yep.
I can push add or edit and change this category, for example, to IP registration. Or also I can add multiple categories. So for example, this transaction was partially connected to operating expenses and to product design. So I used 2 different categories, and now I can even say what portion of money went to which category. So I can use dollars here for that, or I can just say that 80% here, 20% here, that's it. And then done, and the transaction would be split into several categories, which is useful when, for example, you have a transaction that partially connected to administrative expenses and partially to a program expenses.
Yeah.
So also you can add title here, saying that this payment was like grant from Bill Gates Foundation.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. And also you can add any description showing exactly what's happening. As you said, you can look at Handmade Charity Hub, they did that. So they added a lot of information about their operation in order to show the donors what's happening on the spending side. So it's currently, all right. So also here is a discussion section that is available for you, but mainly it's for your audience. So if they still have some question, if you don't have category here, or you don't have title, description, they don't know what's happening, they can ask. So we offer different way to start a conversation. So if you have just informational question, you can put here and ask can you please advise what was the division of Bill Gates Foundation that sent a grant to you? Or you can go to cost and ask, don't you think that it's too expensive? Or guys, I know the vendor who is a lot cheaper and who can who provide special discounts for nonprofits. So you can get insights and advices from your audience.
So that feature there is available for anybody who's looking at the account. Yeah.
Yes, okay. It's for anybody who's logged into the system. We don't want to see anonymous comments inside the application. So that's why anyone who wants to leave a comment should log in through their Facebook account, so that you always know with whom you're talking to.
Yeah.
In case of public account, in case of grouped accounts, and as I said, we have such opportunity here. So you see the Frank Money is public, so anyone can see it. We can go to account settings and put it to secret mode. If account is secret, nobody except account holder sees it, and also account holder have an opportunity to invite followers to the account. So you may see here, I can add follower. So the application will offer me, in this case, to enter an email of the person I want to invite, and only to invite it to a list of invitees, my account would be available. So for example, if you want to check how Franks work first for your team, you can invite just your administration, like your leadership team, and only them would see their application and also in web, would see what's happening on the spending side. After that, you can invite your board. After that, you can invite some.
And they get emails based on transactions, and they can choose how often they get to see those emails and stuff.
No, so if you put email here, they would have an access to your spendings. That would be just sharing one transaction with them. It would be sharing your account information with them. We're also currently adding opportunity to choose which transaction you want to share and which not. So, or even make different visibility for different users. If you like to share just some information with your donors or just some information with your board, you would have opportunity for that. Currently, everything is available to all followers, and to all account holders.
Do you think that defeats the purpose of the whole system, or that it's just to get more charities on board while we're in this transition phase?
So currently, our idea is to attract as more charities in this system as possible, so that donors would not just be able to see transaction of your organization, they also would see how different organization operates, and they would be able to compare different organizations and see who work more efficiently, and also copy some of their activities and offer it to other organizations in order to make them more efficient. So it's like a collaboration platform for donors and for organizations, where they can share transactions, share the way how they operate. In the future, that you would have opportunity to share your budget or a budget for separate events, so that other charities would know how you're making it and will have opportunity to make the same, not like learning each time how to do something properly, but having somebody who already have this experience. We also have a first Kickstarter campaign who is using our application. It's Wooden Shark. You see their accounts as well, and they currently getting money from Kickstarter. As soon as they get this money, they will start spending it. They collect money on Kickstarter in late June, and they collected $500,000, saying to their bakers that they will spend all this money in transparency, so like publicly available to all their contributors. This would be one of the use cases how transparency can help people attract more attention to the project, attract more contributors and supporters. So currently, we're working on attracting more organizations to use Frank. We're also learning with our clients what additional functionality they would like to have and how they like to use Frank. And in the future, we will add more and more interesting stuff. For example, currently, when you're looking at the account, you see that we have an overview where you can see a pie chart and all our expenses divided by different categories, so that our supporters, our investors, anybody can see the structure of our expenses. We also currently work on the impact solution for organization, so you would be able not just show financial picture of what you're doing, but also explain what is your impact and what are your different projects, and you will be able to connect your expenses not to just category like product design, but to a specific project. So, for example, you build new school in Africa, and also you're building new school in Australia. So you have these two different projects, and you're connecting your different spendings to these two projects, and people can look pictures from your site. They can look description for a specific project and also see which payments connected to it. So it's more about representation of your financials through impact, but not through like pure financial like as you see right now.
Is there a way that people can like say for instance, my donators, they can subscribe for email updates, and they can choose to get an email update every transaction, or every week they get a summary of all transactions? Just that gets triggered off. Is that possible, or have that been done?
It's possible. So currently we're thinking more about getting notification on their phone. So if they will upload our application, download our application. They would follow your account, and they would get notification each time when you have a new payment in the system. Or they can say that they want to see a notification only if the transaction was more than $1,000, for example, or $10,000, to check on the like important payments, what's happening there. If as soon as we will add impact in the platform each time when you have a new project, and you connect your spending to new project, they would be able to see that new project appeared and to read what's happening there. And if you need additional donation, you can like promote this on this side, on this page, and your donors would know that they can give you additional support to make this project happen.
And how do you guys support yourself, or what's the monetization in terms of supporting the charity? If a charity starts using the system, what do you guys get? What does Frank get to continue in exchange for the service?
So currently the application is free of charge for all nonprofits, and we were thinking about making it absolutely for free for all nonprofits with a budget less than $500,000, and that we would have some subscription fee for organization with budget more. But we decided that we will skip this as well, and we will more concentrate on getting revenue, on making charities work more efficiently. So, for example, we can combine your purchase power, because charities buying the same, like they all buying airplane tickets, they all buying food, clothes, etc. We'll see who are your vendors, and we will go to vendors and ask them to offer better price for our customers, and we will get just small percentage of this efficiency. And also we will work closely with auditors and reporting service providers. We can give them much more detailed information about operations of organization, because you know that currently a lot of nonprofits don't use sophisticated systems for reporting. They just printing invoices and put it to the box under the table.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke.
It's a reality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of organizations in the US working like that, and offering them a tool that is really easy to use. Each time when you have new transaction, you have notification, you just push what type of category was that, and some memory about what was going on this spending side. Providing all this information to auditors, it would make their work a lot easier and a lot cheaper. So in partnership with them, we will have some additional revenue. And this is our current plans on how Frank will continue to work. So currently we're self-investing the project, and also we have some investors who are also supporting us. If you go to our income, you will see investments, and you will see who are our investors. There is some information about them that you can read, and also you see a lot of Libermans there. It's us, our co-founders, and siblings. So we're already working together 10 years, and we created several projects, mostly in Russia. We had game development studio, we had animation studio, we have several media projects that were pretty successful, and we were dreaming about doing this application already 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay, so you guys have been thinking about trying to bring transparency to the charity, not profit space, for a long time.
To charity, to crowdfunding that we were actively supporting, to government spendings that we also believe should be transparent and should be one system in order to compare where really our money goes and how they've been spent. So yes, but it was too early 10 years ago to go to this project, because when we were discussing with people opportunity to share their finance, they were like crazy. So guys, it would never happen. And then social media appeared, and people started sharing more and more information, and also a lot of projects that showing how really sharing economy can work, like Airbnb and Uber. They all appeared, and people starting to think differently about transparency itself and about financial transparency as well. And like a couple years ago, we were continuously asking people about the same idea, and they're starting to give us answers that, guys, are you sure that this system does not exist? So it's like an obvious idea. Financial transparency, the world is really needed. So, and absolutely opposite feedback about the same idea. And we decided that it's time to start, and we canceled all our previous businesses and put all our efforts to create this system. And now we're on the stage when we're inviting first clients to it, and like learning together how it should work and how it can really help and make the world the better place.
Yep. No, it's just amazing, basically. And I know that there's going to be lots of old style mentality people that won't accept this, but we surround them until they're forced to, or they lose donators basically. Um,
Yes.
and so yeah.
Can you please tell me more about your organization? So you're based in Australia, right?
Yeah, we're based in. Oh, that was my final question. Yeah, can you do Australian dollars? Is this?
Yes. So we currently, as I said, we're using third-party provider to get connection to the bank. Our current third-party provider supports just US-based banks. So if your bank is outside the US, we should check on the market if there are any like providers like I described that can provide us information. If no, you just should give me a link to your bank, and I will check with them what kind of APIs they currently have, or can they provide any type of statements that we can upload to the system in order
Yep.
to build direct connection. It really depends on the bank, because
Yeah.
some of
Okay.
the banks have really progressive APIs, some of them don't have anything, and
So
they don't
okay.
even provide.
And you prefer to connect directly to the bank's API than to go through a service provider like Xero or
Uh,
something?
Direct is always better, just because providers usually understand information their own way. So sometimes they provide really very strange information to us. For example, we had the experience with one client who had a payment to the lab, and they recognize this payment as a car wash. So they're using their own categorization system, and they provide these categories to us, and their categories sometimes mistaken a lot, and we don't want to harm our clients by showing the donors that they spent $1,000 for car wash instead of saying that it was for a lab.
Have you come across a lot of corruption yet, or?
So not yet, but we're going this way,
Yeah.
especially in I hope that in the future we will see like fully transparent political campaigns that we don't see right now.
Yep.
We currently connected with one of the parties in Ireland, and they basically have really good results on their polls. So, and they were thinking about using our application for the whole country. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Maybe Ireland there would be the first transparent government.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's what needs to happen everywhere. I mean, the only reason I'm interested in doing this is so that eventually it filters up to government.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm a director of this charity called One Purse One Planet, and basically what we're trying to do is filter money to people who can't get money, like smaller organizations that can't actually get any money. And so we've got a pending DGR status, which means that people can donate money before they pay tax on it, so then they can lower their tax bill, like companies can. But I mean, the path that I'm on, and then basically, so we're in the process of setting up we just had our first expression of interest night, setting up a sustainable school for children, a school about sustainability called the Waterhole. And I'm actually just editing the video at the moment to put that up on the website. You've seen our website, have you?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and then in Australia, there's a lot of people that just don't have very good internet. Where I live, I've had to put a $900 antenna on top of my house and beam internet into, from about 5 kilometers away into here where I live. And, that basically means everyone has to do the same thing. So I'm very, you probably see on the website, I'm very passionate about providing fast, reliable internet to communities, because that's where it all starts.
And you know that United Nations recently said that internet is one of the commodities, required commodities currently. So yes, the world finally realized that having internet is pretty much the same as having food and place.
Oh, it's that important. Yeah.
Yes, especially for our generation, because and for our kids who have no idea how to think about internet. So for them, it's like really about level of life.
Yeah, Yeah, I totally agree. And if you don't get internet, you're limiting your capacity to think to be able to connect to the other 7 billion people on the planet. So we're both
Yes.
talking to people who get it, which is good. Yeah, so that's and then oh, hang on, I just got to get my charger. Oh, where is my laptop charger? So in Australia, I've connected up with some an internet provider who can. I've built a deal who can provide internet to any part of Australia as long as I raise the funds and we beam the internet in, so we're not dependent on the government to provide internet. So
All right.
we've got a big issue like that. So I wanted to have a transparent banking system that shows the cost to those projects, so that the community we can go around and get people to donate, but they can also see where the money is being spent. So it's not like a just a hidden expense. It's just going left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another So that's my main thing, because I just see internet is the main hindrance that we
Yeah.
have. So that's the pole on top of the roof, if you can see up there.
Oh yeah.
With
That's fantastic. So we were starting. My brothers, they were pretty much first in the region where we live. We were thinking that we should have better internet there, and they had their local very small. So they created very small internet provider for several houses around. We had like multi-story buildings in our area, and all of them had good internet because of my brothers.
Yep.
I remember this climbing roofs stuff, etc., for making this all possible. After that, one of internet providers once bought this system, and so market like became more like modern. So where there are not just a lot of small providers, but several big providers who gives good access to the internet. Before that, they all were extremely expensive, and the access was really bad.
Yep.
So guys like my brothers were building small networks that showed a real quality that people wants to have.
Yeah.
And so better pricing. And it's more or less how to build more or less good market inside our country. So
Yeah.
I know that it's extremely important. And unfortunately, here in the valley, Silicon Valley,
Yep.
would think the internet is worse than we have in Moscow. So it's really strange.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's a lot of for-profit decisions. Do you know the story of the internet in Australia? We have this terrible. We used to have good internet. We were one of the first countries to get internet and roll internet out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ADSL 1 and a little bit of ADSL 2. And then we for the last we privatized that whole network. It got sold off. And then that was called Telstra, and it all got privatized, and we've got good mobile internet, like mobile phone, all throughout Australia. That's because we run a fiber optic line to every single mobile phone tower, and then all that was a government agency at first, and then it got sold, and now it's all privately owned, and they were secretly going to build out and run fiber optic to the houses, but then the politicians started talking about, we should set fiber optic houses, and so they set up this another government agency. And that's been going on for 15 years, that conversation, and we've not had fibre optic to the houses. And meanwhile, Telstra, who were going to do it, they just sort of folded their arms and said, we'll just wait for the government to do it. Because this private company was going to spend the money and do it themselves, because they've already basically got fibre optic on every major highway in Australia already, which was publicly funded in the first place. So it's just a joke, this privatisation thing. And that's why, we're faced with having to, beam internet in. And we get fast internet, we beam it in and I get 90 up and 90 down speeds. And that equipment really just there costs about $300. But it's just annoying that, and you know, we've got there's communities all over Australia who are struggling to be able to even learn how. I'm a programmer, so even to learn how to code and do things. And so I'm on a mission to, one, provide fast internet to people, and then two, teach them programming for the people who want to. And that's basically what I'm trying to do.
It's actually, so we have one of nonprofits who currently in the secret mode, so you don't see their accounts. They are a small nonprofit here in the Valley, and what they do, they help kids in the high schools create their programmer clubs inside the school. So they provide all required materials to start learning how to like program themselves, and after that, so they developing clubs, like sustainable clubs that can work themselves, like help themselves without any additional support, and they starting to build their own materials and share these materials with kids from other schools. So it's really great, and I think that we can connect you guys, and so in order to share experience, because like if kids have opportunity to like learn themselves and learn together inside schools, it's a great opportunity for them to develop the skills, just because they see that they're not alone in this points of interest, and basically it's very great that they can see the overall community of other kids in high schools who do the same. So can you please send me the link to your bank account if you already have a bank account right now? I will check with them what kind of APIs they have, or what kind of information we can get from the bank using different channels if they don't have APIs. For example, some of banks provide statements in a good detailed level. Some of them provide really horrible, just in PDFs without any opportunity to extract data from it. So I'll check how soon we can build connection with your bank. Who are your major contributors? Is it public donation, or you have some kind of grants or something like that?
We have a grants system that we haven't started using yet. And then we have contributors from businesses that want to save money. That you know, so they want to they'd rather put their tax money into a charity instead of anything else.
You have the same system as US, right? So you have some kind of tax deduction or donation.
Yeah, that's how it works. So, and they're the two banks that we work with at the moment.
Yeah, checking their website already in order to find some kind of APIs. Can you please like when you have time log into your online bank and check what kind of statements they give you to download from the system?
But
so it can be CSV format, or it would be really great if there are some kind of Swift reporting like MT940 or...
I'm just logging in now. I can show you on my screen. Should I share my screen?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, review. Oh, nice. It's zero. Yes, zero.
Yeah, I just sent zero because we do connect zero to all our accounts, and I've studied the zero API, and it's really good.
We'll check. Most is it US based or?
Zero is they've got an Australian branch, but I think they're out of USA first.
Yes, looks like that. We'll check that.
Because zero is compatible with all banks in Australia. They've got so that would be the easiest way. The other thing that I was doing, I'll just show you this. I don't want to be a competitor or anything, but I've been on this path trying to create this for the last year. What you guys have done, so I don't need to do it now. So I'm just more empowering you guys, because my whole plan for doing it was like, why hasn't this been done? It's a joke that it hasn't been done yet. We don't have any tools. So this was how I was going to code it all up. I'm just giving it to you. It's all transparent. So yeah, I mean, I've been on this mission for a while, and you can see my screen right now. I was calling it
Yeah.
integrify.org.au, and so this was actually under the charity One Person One Planet as well,
Hmm.
and basically spending public funds better.
Yes, and Kickstarter here as well. That's good.
Yeah, fundraising, and then my whole thing is that there's no difference. I want to move people away from all these governments and stuff. There's no difference. There's no such thing or difference between a charity, government, or business. They only serve as good as the people running them. Thomas Miller.
Yeah.
So, a hospital, they're struggling for funds. Well, they can set up a campaign. They can start getting more efficient, and they can, do a Kickstarter campaign and show their funds at the same time, and let people come in.
You know that. So our idea is that people spend around half of the money that they spend collaboratively. So the instruments that they use for that is Kickstarter, as you said. It's governmental money. It's also taxpayers' money. It's charity money, and we want, if as soon as we don't actually know where money goes, we reduce possible efficiency.
Yep, I agree. Yeah.
Sharing all this information and sharing it not just between donors and organizations, as I said, it should be shared between different organizations, because what's happening here in the US, I'm sure it's the same in Australia, is that a lot of small organizations all over the country, and they reinvent the wheel all the time when they're trying to do something new.
Yeah.
In spite of using already good ideas how to make something possible, and with people who already created successfully. So for example, a lot of organizations in the US doing events in order to fundraise, and only few of them are successful. Most of them just spend money and not earn anything from that, just because people don't know how to make events more successful and how to raise more funds to spend. And we talked with lots of charities here, and they're basically ready to share this experience with other organizations, but they don't have instruments for that now, because there are no systems that gives the opportunity to share your budget and some kind of ideas how to make something more efficient. And we hope to build this application. So we're just starting with giving you opportunity to share directly how you spend funds with your donors. And in the future, we will add opportunity to donate directly from the system, so that people shouldn't go anywhere else. They're checking how it spends money. If they're happy with it, they just click donate. As I said, if you add new project and they like this project and they want to give you support, they would be able to do it right away from our application or from your website, because Frank can be placed and can be embedded to any page. So you just can make a financial section on your website and add Frank there. So there would be the same window as you see right now when you go into Frankly Discover. So the same window with just your account will be placed on your website, and people will see directly on your website how you spend money and will be able to make donation right away. We also add opportunity to share transactions, so that your active supporters, they would be able to share exact transaction or the overall account with their friends and family in social networks like Facebook and Twitter, which will give you additional supporters and will give people more information about that here is a transparent charity. All charities should be transparent.
Yeah, I totally agree. I see the whole transparency side and the reporting of different. Every transaction is an event. And that if people are getting email notifications or it's popping up in their newsfeed or something, or push notifications, that's the marketing done for the charity as well, because people will start promoting, they get involved, they start thinking deeper about how's the charity working, they offer ideas. I just see definitely just to help you guys, watch the video that I did. I've got a summary video up here that I talk about this whole map, this whole plan. You might get some ideas from it, because I've been on this path for a while. Nowhere near as long as you guys, but thought deep about how it can all work. And there's have you heard of Uphold?
Uphold?
Yeah.
What's that?
Uphold is just going to make your lives really easy. It's basically a programmable money. So you put money, US dollars or Australian dollars there, and then you use their API to move the dollars around. It's really amazing.
They're using bitcoins for that?
They use Bitcoin. They do Ethereum. They bridging the gap between cryptocurrencies as well. They do US dollars. They use Australian dollars, Hong Kong dollars, all sorts of different, and they're all transparent. They show their bank accounts live. Everything they have is all transparent. They do. It's amazing. So it's cool.
So I'm trying to. Here it is. Integrity fine. Okay. So how can you send me a link for this? Paul, thank you.
So you might be able to use them as an engine as well to move people away from their prehistoric banking systems eventually.
We were thinking about creating our own financial structure here in the US because, as I said, banks, providers gives us that data, but when you look at the data that they get from the bank, it's bad as well. Just because banks don't really like to share information.
No, they don't.
And even between different banks, so there are services like multi-banking reporting when you have multiple accounts in different banks, and you can have this service and see one full statement from all your accounts. Usually it have really poor data because between themselves banks share just as less information as possible, and it's actually really harmful for their clients, first of all. And you know that currently in UK there are already a law that requires that all banks in UK should have open APIs for businesses and share information with the fintech application. So it's even on the governmental level, they are starting thinking that it's not right that banking have this all information for themselves. So the same as a health industry in US. So they're not sharing information about their client, the patient, the medical history, and it's actually really bad for any of us, like having different information, different places. All right, so let me check what we can do with your bank. I will come back to you really quick as soon as I have some information. You also told me that you can go to your online bank and check what kind of statements you have available online.
Oh yeah, I'll do that now. Yeah, I've just got to get my bank code. 2 seconds.
Sure.
So where I'm living at the moment, we're building a self-perpetuating sustainable education center. So we're cutting we're trying to make housing cheaper. So we've actually got a prototype here, and we're cutting cave homes out of the side of the mountain.
Really?
Yep.
Great.
That's the plan.
My friends, they're a startup as well. They're based here in the valley. They're trying to rethink the overall construction industry. So they making robots and models to make modular construction. So you can build whatever you want from these models, and you can rebuild any building for each month or 2 months or each year if you need it, especially in the areas where there is nothing at all, no construction, and people want to build hospital today, but tomorrow they don't need hospital, but they need school, and they can use same blocks and robots to reconstruct.
Oh, you're talking about I'm a donator to them. You're talking about Open Building Institute?
No.
Open Source Ecology.
Assembled. I will send them their links to you. These guys, they were one of the creators winning project for construction on Mars.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Have you heard of Open Building Institute?
I heard about them. I'm not sure if I know exactly about the project you're talking about.
They're building the 50 industrial machines required to have an industrial lifestyle now, but it's all in Lego, so you can take apart the machine and build another machine out of it. So you can build a small. I'll send you those. It's just beautiful what they're doing. I've never heard of Assemble though. Sounds like the programming language. Assembler.
It's like assembled without several letters in it. So you'll see there are some videos how robots can construct buildings. So they have lots of different ideas about that, and I think that it should be the future of construction. So we basically don't need buildings for such a long time that we have them right now.
Yep.
And we want to rebuild it each year and like fit it better to our current needs. So for example, today I'm alone, tomorrow I have 3 kids and I need another house and I want to use the same land and same box to rebuild a house and make it like easier for my family to fit into it. So.
Oh, I'm fascinated by this because this is what we're trying to do, things like this on this property, just all as experiments.
Yeah.
I'm going to research all the way through this. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to log in to this account.
Okay. I don't see the screen right now. Doesn't it? Oh, no, I see it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alrighty.
So there should be a section about available statements. Well, it's on the right, quick links, statements.
So that's the account there, Transition Foundation, that one there.
Mm-hmm.
So quick links. Where did you see that?
You see the statement.
Oh, yeah.
No. Yeah.
All right, so select account, Transition Foundation. I'll click that.
I don't see your account. Don't see your
Yep,
screen.
I'll just share again.
Mm-hmm.
What's your internet like where you're at? What speeds do you get?
It's bad. It's we had better in Moscow. Here it's not so good. It's we use Xfinity. It's better than Comcast, but still.
Yeah, shocking.
Oh yes, I see it right now. So there are paper by mail, but there should be several and online via net bank. That's it. Oh no, it's the settings of your account. Do you see? There are no.
Download Adobe. When you download it, it downloads in Adobe.
So it don't provide you to choose what kind of statement you want to have. So you just see the statements for the period of time, right? It's not available to make a statement for a designated period of time. And it's a statement for account, order statement. And if you press to order a statement, what will be there on the right?
Press to order a statement. Let's try.
Recent transactions. So it's online within by mail. So it's still PDF. Yes.
Yeah, it's still PDF. They print it out. Yep. So, but Xero does connect. Xero does connect with Commonwealth Bank.
Yes. As I know, in the US, they
and it takes like 24 hours.
They're getting data from the bank with the files. So they don't have direct connection. They don't have APIs. They're just getting statements in I don't know what kind of format. I should check that. Probably in Australia they have different formats. So we will write to their support and ask them and we'll also check if this information is available through their APIs, because for QuickBooks it was closed, so the transaction information wasn't available through API.
And the final thing I want to talk to you about is that like the monetization strategy that I had on this plan was monetization that, because I was saying Integrify, you know, is your charity Integrified, or is your organization Integrified? And I was saying 1% of all transactions that get reported goes to Integrify bank account, another transparent bank account system, which would pay for, you know, people like me to run it, or other people to run the whole system. But have you thought about just doing a percentage?
You know, we were not thinking about that because in US, the market, only individuals donate $300 billion a year. So if you take 1% of that, just enormous tons of money. So that's why we were thinking about something more like sustainable during our plan growth. And if you look at audit market in US, and you know that like all organization with a budget more than $500,000, they're required to have an audit, independent audit by law, and they usually spend around $15,000 to $20,000 a year for this audit, which is like huge money. And the main reason for that is I already explained that there are a lot of manual work. We will reduce manual work and make a deal with, and we also would have a crowd for going through a transaction. We called it crowd audit, because people will follow the organization activity, and if there is some fraud or suspicious transaction, they would be first who will pay attention to it. So there would be less work for audit firms, and we will have like small percentage of their of the efficiency that we will make on the audit, and that would already be enough for our organization to sustain and to have sufficient fund for that. We're not sure if we want to have some like percent or something from donations that we will get from the platform. We will try to make this commission as less as possible, because sometimes in US it costs like up to 25% from donation, which is like huge money, and we want to significantly reduce this type of commission. And don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to remove, really, aren't we? Like, sure, there's going to be admin costs, but they don't need to be outrageous, or the entertainment costs don't need to be outrageous, or whatever. Yeah.
All right. So I'll spend some time to check with the bank what we can do, and also we will check with Xero if they provide information about transaction, and I'll get back to you with the details.
Cool. And I just wanted to show you another thing here. So we're in a bit of a crisis here in Australia, where people are thinking that we need to, you know, the sector needs to lead with more transparency, like this lady here. She's an Australian. She's the CEO of the National Centre for Health and Justice. But she's saying the sector needs to lead on trust and confidence before it's left behind. I'd love to, you know, work with you guys to promote what you're doing and get your system into other charities around Australia.
That's a big thing.
You know, we've just had have you heard the Shane Warne Foundation's been shut down? Well, not been shut down. He's shut it down because, you know, only 16 cents out of every dollar went to actually what he was saying it went to. The rest of the 84 cents per dollar went to his parties and his lifestyle. So yeah, 84% of the money apparently has gone to just, you know, spending it on his lifestyle. So basically, there's just issues like this, and I'd love to be able to promote what you guys are doing. and help integrate it into other organizations. But yeah.
That'd be great. First, we should build connection anyway.
Yeah.
So let's start with your account, and like from this point, we would be happy to make any collaboration around because it would be hard for us to start in Australia ourselves, and it would be great to have your support there. Especially taking into account that you had the same idea, and it would be great if we can do something here together.
Cool. So I have a blog, Thomas Julian Miller, and I've actually recorded this the last 50 minutes of this call. Do you mind if I put it on that blog, or I send it to you first and you review it? Because it just lets my followers know what I'm up to.
Yeah, I just think that there were a lot of, if you want to make it shorter and just use some important notes for the crowd, I think that it should be good. Otherwise, I don't think that somebody would listen 50 minutes.
I've got some, but you don't mind, basically. That's your.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't.
Okay, it would just be in a YouTube video. I'll send it to you as well.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just more just to build this conversation and let people know that there is a system and yeah, that's basically it. All right, and it will further what we're doing and allow me to start announcing this in Australia straight away.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, thanks very much for your trust and doing this, and we'll see. I'll wait for your next word.
Okay.
All right, thanks for that.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.